Hey guys, this is another installment in my Push to the Top 1000 series, and today I'm not doing great on defense again. I'm going minus 259 over 7 attacks, so only one fail, 2 fails so far. So I'm really going to need to do good today to end up getting a positive day. Again, I'm going to be sharing that layout in the comments, but I don't know if it's going to be one you're going to want to use. Again, today I'm going to be using the Root Rider army. And I'm going to be keeping those 3 balloons that I used yesterday as well. So now I'm just going to go right ahead and hop into the attacks. Alright, so this base looks like a pretty standard um, base with the invisibility and rage in the very center. Yeah, I'm going to try and avoid that giant bomb on the left hand side. And I'm going to just go ahead and try and set up a very easy funnel for my RC. So I'm going to go ahead and center in up this top side. I think I'm going to need to use an invisibility to make sure my RC gets funneled in the way I want her to. Alright. I just need her to get that mortar down, and then I should have all the value I want. Alright, perfect. Now send in the funnel down here. Alright, activate that invisibility tower. Now I can send in the main Root Rider army. Make sure I clean up that little area. Now send in the Valks. Alright, going good. I'm going to overgrowth this area, make sure my army gets funneled in. And then I'm going to use the Warden ability here. I'm going to freeze this back end. Alright, now my army's starting to split up. I'm going to need to use the invisibility on my RC in a second. And that was perfect. Alright, she should start running through all these defenses. I'm going to clean up this area right here, just so when I use my king ability, it's not going to send the spiky ball towards garbage buildings. Alright. I'm going to have to use king ability in a second. Now, perfect. Get all these defenses down. Yeah, this is going to be 3-star. I'm just going to rage that up, make sure I don't time fail. It's getting a little close. Right, hopefully I can get through that really quickly. Get over the hero hall. Yeah, attack was it's a little close in time, but at least it doesn't time fail. Alright, on to the next one now. Alright, this base looks very similar to the one we just hit. Other than the fact that it's a bit more heavy on that bottom side. So I think I'm going to send in my Root Rider, or my RC on that bottom area, just because it's going to get more value. And if I were to attack it like I did in the last one with the overgrowth to help set a funnel, I think that would end up covering up too much damage and then end up hurting us on the back end. So it's definitely going to end up being better to take down major value at the beginning with the RC. Right, I'm going to have to start doing a double invis. Alright, sucks that we can't get that down, but we still set a pretty good funnel, which is the main goal. It would have just been a plus to make sure to get down extra good value. All right, send in the rest of the army. Send in like 1-2 cleanup troops. Make sure everything gets funneled in. I'm gonna send. Oh, I guess there's an open wall there. Didn't see that. Yeah, queen's probably gonna go down now. Okay, good. King. I really can't be having king target buildings on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and overgrowth this. Use RC ability. I'm gonna freeze this high damage. Perfect. Send a little bit of cleanup on the back end. Alright, good, good. I need king to start moving back towards that overgrowth so I can take that out right away and not spend too much time having my army take damage from it. Alright, I'm going to use the rage spell here. RC is going to go down now. Use the final cleanup. Alright, yeah. And I still have king ability, so it's going to be a pretty easy 3-star. Yeah, even though I didn't get the exact value I needed from the RC, it was still a pretty powerful attack. Alright, perfect. On to the next one. Okay, again, this base looks basically identical to the ones we just hit. I'm going to go in on the opposite side of the giant bomb, and I'm going to just do the same exact thing on the last attack. Hopefully I can get the extra value and not just the funnel. But we'll see. Right, looks like it's baited. Alright, RC moves in now. Takes it a little bit of damage. Activate her ability, and I'm going to go to a double invis cycle. And pick her up. Perfect, and we keep Spirit Fox too. It's a major thing. Yeah, I mean, this base looks really similar. Even the garbage buildings on the outside are placed in almost the exact same order. I guess this is just like a modified version of the one we just hit. I'm going to need to place in some extra cleanup on that bottom so my king doesn't get distracted and end up going down there. Alright, send RC in now. And then rage this up just before they head in. And now, warden ability, perfect. Everything's heading in. Alright. I'm gonna freeze this now. Okay. Alright, it looks like everything's starting to split up, which isn't great. It'd be nice if that overgrowth could pop right about now. Perfect. Alright, get some great defenses down. Alright, looks like this is going to be a fail, just because everything's starting to split up. Yeah, I think this is going to end up being a fail. That sucks. I don't know. RC's staying alive, but this back end is going to be really tough if it's not going to be a fail. Alright, Phoenix will get that. I'll start clean up with RC, with Baby Dragon. Wow, I think this is barely going to get a 3-star. I think what mainly went wrong in that is just the army started to split up. So, to prevent that, you might want to use overgrowth instead of preventing damage, to use it to make sure your army sticks together and help set a funnel. Alright, hopefully this doesn't time fill. This is going to be really close if it doesn't. Oh my god. Like half a second away. Alright. I mean, that's not great, but we'll have to do with it now. It's going to be -8 on the day. Alright, so we're finally up against a different style of base. I've actually hit this one a lot, but these fire spitters in the middle are a bit weirdly arranged. I think I can dodge them easily by attacking this how I normally do, with main RB up at the top and then RC down here. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Alright. Yeah, Phoenix is going to go down here. Go ahead and activate RC ability. Just place that a little earlier. Perfect. Alright, and she doesn't take damage. That's great. Pop both invis towers now. Alright, perfect. Queen should start taking out all that value. I'm going to go ahead and send an RC. Great. I'm going to overgrowth this, just because it's going to be a little while before I actually get there. That means I'm going to be able to take down all this back-end garbage before I actually get to it. Alright. I'm going to have to ward an ability soon as I head to the town hall. Now is great. Everything's going to start healing back up. Alright, it's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and freeze this. I'm going to hopefully be able to use King ability to activate the invisibility tower again once it pops. That'd be great. Alright, now is great. Perfect. And we get down all those defenses. Now I could just send in the cleanup and this base is going to be crushed. Yep, it's perfect. Alright. Just have to continue with these 3 stars now for the rest of the day, and then I should be able to go plus 320. Or plus 312. It really sucks in that last attack with that, like, I don't know, probably 1 more second I wouldn't have time failed. So just gotta continue with that now. Alright, so I see that this is a hook tower base. But it's not possible to do a king dive, which kind of sucks. That would have been really nice to get some great value. However, I am going to be sending in my RC from this side of the hook tower and then my main army onto the hook tower, so it doesn't like bring my troops in and then slow me down in the back end. Because I mean that's how the hook tower really gets its power. It's when you send it in and then you have it on the back end, and then as you push the base, you keep getting slowed down. So you always want to try and avoid that on a hook tower base. I mean, on this one, it's a little more straightforward since it's like more lopsided towards one side of the base, but the rule is gonna like be the same for all the bases you all go up against. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop RC ability. Alright. Kind of sucks that RC didn't get great value, but it's okay. Perfect. Alright, now send in everything else. Alright, that's perfect. Queen's gonna go down. That really sucks. have to use RC or Warden ability to save RC. A second or two. I can still wait. Just overgrowth that fire spitter. It's the main goal. Alright, now everything's going to start moving in. It's perfect. Alright, great. I get down the monolith. That would have been really tough on the back end. I'm going to go ahead and rage up this compartment again. Now start clearing out the back end. Alright, this is looking good. Alright, looks like Baby Dragon couldn't get that giant cannon down. That kind of sucks. Make sure I get these garbage buildings down in time for the king to use his ability. Alright, now is perfect. He gets down all the major defenses. It's great. Right, yeah. It's going to be 3-star. There was a few things that kind of went wrong. I mean, the giant cannon being left at the top of the base could have definitely caused an issue, but kind of lucky that it didn't. But otherwise, most of the stuff in this attack went perfect. So on to the next one now. Alright, so again, we're up against this style of base. I don't know if we're going to not stop seeing this. I'm going to again send in my RC towards the side of the base with the most value. So that's going to be right here. I think I'm going to be able to set a pretty good funnel, but I might have to sacrifice some funneling for some better value. We'll have to see how it goes. Alright. This defending Clan Castle is like surprisingly very easy to counter. Usually people are going to put like furnaces or ice golems, but I've never seen that combination before. Alright. It didn't get great funneling ability, but I think it's definitely going to still work out. Because I set a like I got the value on that little center compartment, so I'm gonna just, instead of setting a funnel on the corner, I'm gonna just use that as the funneling for the army. So it's gonna be a bit different than how I normally do it, but it should still end up working out. Alright, Queen's gonna start moving in that way. Perfect. Send in RC now. I'm going to overgrowth this fire spitter on the back just so I don't take too much damage. Use king ability just to get down all that. Now warden ability. Alright, it kind of sucks that king's moving out, but it's okay. Use RC ability, she's about to go down. Okay, this is starting to turn around. Not great. Hopefully I can still pull it off. Go ahead and send in Baby Dragon up top. He should take down all that. Hopefully, I just need king to take out everything in the middle. Okay. Yeah, this is looking like it's going to end up being a fail. Alright, yeah, this is probably going to be like, I don't know, high 80%. It's not great. It's going to be the second fail of the day. I think the main thing that went wrong is the overgrowth placement, and then that led to my army splitting up. So I think I definitely should have used the overgrowth to be used for funneling. Yeah, 89% fail. That really sucks. I think it's going to make it so we can't go positive today unless I get another fail. So I'll just have to keep trying to get 3 stars. Alright. This style of base is kind of like the one we had a few attacks ago. I'm going to just go for this little section and then send in my army towards the town hall. Yeah, so I think if I send it in here, I'm going to have to make those invisible. Perfect. I'll make her invisible here, make sure she moves in. Alright. This should start setting a great funnel now. Right, kind of messed up the timing there, but RC's health should not be a problem. All right, I think I'm gonna have to pick her up unless. All right, perfect. Send in that, send in that. All right, that's great. Okay, now I can send in everything else. I'm gonna just send in one cleanup on the bottom. I'll send in one right here too. All right, now the rest of the army can go in. Queen's staying alive, which is great. Perfect, everything starts moving in towards the town hall. I'm gonna rage it up, make sure we push through there very quickly. I'm gonna overgrowth this middle compartment just so I have everything start moving up towards the top and have everything stick together. Because as you can see in the last attack, everything started splitting up, and that really caused it to lose power. All right, I'm gonna use Warden ability now. I see all my healers are getting low. My RC was getting low, so everything needs to be healed back up. Start using some cleanup on the top end. Use RC ability now as she starts getting targeted. Use King ability as he gets stuck here. Gets great value with the spiky ball. Use a little more cleanup there. I'll even send in the baby dragon. Rage up everything. At least everything should get raged up as it moves in. I'll freeze the high damage. Alright, perfect. That should be a 3-star now. Yep, alright. Definitely much better funneling and like movement of the army in this attack than the last one. I mean, if you don't really like funnel and move your army in the correct way, that's definitely how you're gonna fail using root riders. So I'll try and show that in the next attack. And on to the final one now. Okay, so this is a completely different style of base that from what we've seen throughout the day. Interesting that the collector's in the middle. Yeah, you're gonna have to target those poison towers. I think I'm gonna go up to this top end. Yeah, I think I'm gonna send in my RC here. Then she should start moving down. Yeah, on this attack, I'm mostly using RC for getting value rather than actually setting a funnel. Because I definitely could have set a better placed funnel. Okay, a little close there. I definitely could have set a better placed funnel, but the value I got from this. Oh, didn't get to set off Giant Bomb. That kind of sucks. I would have really liked to, but that's still okay. Alright, still have a pretty good funnel set. Just kind of sucks that Fire Spitter's there. That might mess up the funneling of the Root Rider since it is a defense. Alright, just make sure I get these buildings down to set a funnel for my Valks. Now I can send in the RC. I'll rage up everything here because I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. I'll send in that. Perfect. I block all the long-range defenses. And I'll go ahead and use Warden ability. That may have been a bit early, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it. Hopefully that Fire Spitter goes down pretty easily. It looks like it's going to stay alive, maybe. Maybe it'll go down? No, I don't think so. Alright, I'm going to have to rage up everything in the middle. RC goes down. I'm going to save King ability for the like further back end, not the complete back end though. Alright, perfect. He actually goes in the middle of the base. That's ideal. I'll go ahead and use it now. Alright, perfect. I got a lot of good damage done. I'll go ahead and use that. Oh, this is going to be very close. I think it's actually going to be a fail. It's going to bring us to like a plus 294 day, I think. So, pretty bad. day. I think it's going to make it so I can't go positive today. That really sucks. I mean, no, it's not possible, yeah. The only possibility is if that baby dragon survived. Yeah, alright. Alright, well, I'll be finishing my attacks at 5774 trophies. Now I still have one defense pending. I'm hoping that this is going to be a fail, but if not, I'm going to actually be going -7 today, which kind of sucks. Um, One, that I attack so bad, but also that my defenses have not been holding up well. So I think that's going to make it so I'm going to be around 25K in the world, which is, I mean, not great. From the beginning of the season, I think I was consistently finishing top 1K. So over the past week and a half, I've definitely fallen off. Um, but hopefully I can recover it somewhat and maybe get to top 5K by the end of the season. Um, I'll try and post a video tomorrow. And with that, see you guys.